Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of SHOYOUCAN, the channel where we discuss everything Capcom from their games to their iconic characters. In today's video, we'll focus on none other than the future ninja himself, Strider Hiryu. But before we do that, if you like Capcom as much as I do, then think about subscribing to the channel. It would help a lot. Now then, let's get back to the video. Hiryu, more commonly known as Strider Hiryu, is the main protagonist of the Strider series, which were action platformer games. He's jointly owned by Capcom and manga studio Moto Kikaku. Hiryu has starred in all official Strider games and the manga, as well as appearing in a host of Capcom's crossover games. As an active Strider agent, all personal data on Hiryu, such as his real name, age, nationality, career, and any other background information are top secret. His birthplace, though, is rumored to be in a village in the Tungus region, eastern Siberia. Hiryu is the youngest Strider ever to reach Special A class in the organization's history and is an expert assassin and spy. As for his appearance, Hiryu wears a bluish-purple colored sleeveless Strider uniform resembling the clothing worn by ninjas in popular media that shows the kanji for the first character of his code name. Sometimes he's seen wearing a red scarf that he uses to hide the lower portion of his face. In the 2014 game, Strider has a similar outfit, but his famous scarf is no longer physical, but instead a scarf made of plasma power. For his personality, Strider is incredibly focused and serious. He has only shown softness around memories of his sister, which became his motivation to fight on as a Strider, but memories of having to kill her from going rogue against her own will occasionally haunts him, causing him at times to contemplate quitting, which he has done, or be written off by taking on suicide missions. The basis for Hiryu's character was conceived during the project's initial meeting of the three project heads, Koichi Yatsui, Masahiko Kurokawa, and Tatsumi Wada, at the Shinjuku Hilton Hotel, and fleshed out over a number of meetings. Among the three, Yatsui was the one who proposed and pushed for a futuristic ninja concept, inspired by the Shinjuku skyline visible from the hotel and ninja series of the 60s. Hiryu's use of a sword as his main weapon may also have been his idea, as Isuke has professed a liking of melee weapons since they force the player to approach the enemy in order to destroy them. Now, Hiryu was named after the Japanese World War II aircraft Hiryu, although Hiryu's name uses the simplified form of the second kanji. Now, although the two names mean the same, which is flying dragon, Hiryu's name is also a synonym for wyvern or wyvern in Japanese, a type of European dragon which only has wings and hind legs. As an active Strider agent, all personal data about Hiryu are top secret, although spare details are known. As we said before, he was born in a Tungusic village and was drafted into the Strider's training program at a young age. Despite the odds of surviving such training regimen, only about 10% of all applicants do survive. He excelled at every category and became the youngest agent to reach the highest rank, Special A class, in the group's history. Hiryu favors the Plasma Sword Cipher as his weapon of choice, which he can freely use from about any position. Now in battle, Hiryu is incredibly focused and shows superhuman capabilities. He has impressive agility and is even able to dodge barrages of bullets. While Hiryu rarely fights unarmed, he has mastered hand-to-hand martial arts to a superhuman level and possesses above normal physical strength, being powerful enough to hack through his enemy's limbs using only his bare hands as though he was slashing at them with his cipher. His speed is also insane. As we mentioned before, he can dodge machine gun bullets and even at one point outran an explosion that was right in front of him. Now, in the year 2042, an evil super genius by the name of Grandmaster Mayo appeared and in 5 years' time had taken over the nations of Earth and exerts control over the human race with an iron fist and powerful militia. Having uncovered the secrets of life in the Amazon, Mayo plans to utilize his artificial city, the Third Moon, to cause a mass extinction event on Earth, seeing it as nothing more than his own plaything and creating his own life forms to populate his new world. Now in 2048, a resistance force comes to the Striders to stop Mayo's diabolical plan. Hiryu, who retired from the group 2 years prior, returns and is tasked to take down Mayo. After bringing down his followers in the Kazakh Federation, the Grandmaster offers a bounty for his head and sends assassins and bounty hunters to kill him. Hiryu eventually finds the Grandmaster's base in the Third Moon, infiltrates it, and finishes his mission. And this pretty much sums up the story of the original Strider game. Now, Strider 2 takes place about 2,000 years after Grandmaster Miles' defeat. A Strider carrying the same codename of the man who defeated him 2 centuries ago rises up to confront a world who worships him. Shortly after receiving the mission, however, the Striders were betrayed by Hien, a fellow Special A Strider and friend of Hiryu, who released the Grandmaster from his tomb to reclaim his world. Hiryu decides to carry out their final mission to find and eliminate the Grandmaster. After facing the Grandmaster's followers across the world, Hiryu eventually reaches the rebuilt Third Moon, where he faces and eliminates both Solo and Hien for the last time. Then he reaches to the top of the station and confronts the Grandmaster himself, finally defeating him. The Grandmaster wonders if the man in front of him is the same one who defeated him 2,000 years ago, but Hiryu provides no answer and cleaves him in two, ending his tyranny. Now, the 2014 version of the game is pretty much a retelling of the first game, but just expands a little bit on the story, so there is really no need to dig deep into the story of that game. Strider Hiryu is a very popular character, and of course has made a number of appearances in Capcom lore. Funny thing is, he was actually quickly forgotten as a character, and it wasn't until he was put in the Marvel vs. Capcom series did his fame begin to come back. A cool little Easter egg is that Zeku from Street Fighter V seems to be a Strider, or the very first Strider. He shares a lot of similarities with Strider in thematic elements. And there you have it, the story of the legendary future ninja Strider Hiryu. One quick thing I have to note as well, it's actually rumored or debated about how old Strider can be. Some people think that in fact he is immortal or lives for an extended amount of time, as we've seen that in Strider 2 it takes place about 2,000 years after Strider 1. Now, for a while people thought that maybe they were one and the same, seeing as how the Grandmaster at the end said that he reminds him of the first guy who defeated him. Now, it's never been officially confirmed, but it is heavily rumored by Capcom that they are in fact 2 different Striders. The Strider that appeared in the original Strider and the one that appears in 2 are not one and the same, but they're just very similar. Otherwise, I mean, that would pretty much confirm that Strider is immortal, seeing as the game is 2,000 years after the first one. Yeah, that'd be pretty insane. But that's all I got for this story, guys. If you enjoyed it, please think about subscribing and sticking around. There's plenty more Capcom content where that came from. And like I always do say, please, please, please take care and have a wonderful rest of your day.